Shannon Ruffra here of CardinalDominance.net with Coach Dan McDonnell, head coach of Louisville baseball. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm great, Shannon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. How's the family?
They're great. Everybody's back in school, and they all know Dad is gearing up for baseball season, so it's an exciting time in our household.
Yes, sir. I bet you are. I guess the biggest question that's on all the fans' minds is, how do you feel about TCU joining the Big East and you having another powerhouse to contend with year after year?
It's very exciting. I mean, I have a feeling within the league it could become a great rivalry. Not only in baseball, I'm sure in other sports, but specifically for baseball, we're excited for the challenge of playing, really a top 10, top 20 type program. More important is what it does for the overall of the Big East in terms of our RPI, which is a crucial criteria for making the NCAAs, for hosting a regional. The NCAA wants to know that, one, you have a good team that can win games, but two, that you've won those games against good competition. So anytime you add a high RPI team like a TCU, it's not only going to help us, it can help the whole league, which in turn comes back to helping us because it makes our league stronger.
On the preseason poll, Louisville's first, UConn's second, UConn's first, St. John's is second, Louisville's third. With Springer at UConn this year, do they seem like they have a pretty tough program?
Yeah, I like that. You were so used to saying Louisville, you said Arkansas. That's a good thing. UConn has what I call the star power. Springer as a preseason player of the year, very talented, athletic kid that plays great defense in center and has a chance to hit the ball out of the yard. He can steal bases, and he had a good summer with Team USA this summer. But it's a lot more than just him. It's their first base is a senior. They have that Andrew Clark type player at first base and Nemeth. They have Barnes, power right-handed arm, who also pitched for Team USA. They have their two left-handed weekend starters back. They have a shortstop who played in the Cape Cod League. They have a senior catcher. They're a lot like our club last year. And so with a lot of players that have played 2 and 3, and even, this is their 4th year of college baseball. So, they were the unanimous pick to win the league, amongst the Big East coaches.
Okay. You just got finished with the Omaha Challenge. I see Travis Tingle, transfer from, is it Cleveland State? That came in?
He's a Butler High School product, and, Travis had a great fall, between the lines, in the weight room, and as it showed in the Omaha Challenge, just a competitive kid, hard worker, immediately earned the respect of his teammates, and, we always seem to sprinkle a junior college guy or two in every year, and like Adam Duvall, similar path, went junior college route, came back and played in his home city, and what a ride it was for Adam and his family. We're excited about Travis and his ability and what he's going to be able to do over these next 2 years for us.
Overall, with the Omaha Challenge, tell us, were you pleased with it overall? Did the kids give you 110% effort on this challenge, or expand on that?
I was very pleased. We try to tweak it a little bit every year, but we also try to challenge them a little bit more year in, year out. And as I was talking to a former player in my office, I was explaining to him this year was the most events we had. We went to 10 events, which basically in a 5-day, Monday through Friday, it's 2 events every day. One of those events being at 6 a.m. So it was a grind for the coaches that we just every morning being up that early, getting to where we were going to compete, pushing the kids hard, and then going, in the afternoon or early evening with another competition. It was a lot of fun for the players, for the coaches, and it came down to a 2-point difference in which team won. It's never been that close, and it was nice to see, these kids compete, in an area where we want to challenge them off the field.
How did you feel about Wasserman and Matt Cook commanding their teams in the Omaha Challenge?
It was nice to get some young kids, give them the responsibility of heading up their teams, and that comes from their respect in the weight room, from Coach Hammer, our strength coach, as well as the coaches, to agree on who's going to head up the 2 teams. And both guys did a really nice job. I think Zach is more vocal, and he's the position player, and he garners great respect from the players. And, you know, Matt probably leads a little bit more by example and just how consistent and how hard he works. But I think if you saw us play last year, you saw their potential between the lines. They both had some really nice flashes throughout the season, and, you know, two sophomores that we're really going to be leaning on this year.
Yes, sir. 100% agreed. The pitching for this year, it looks like you and Coach Williams are stacked at pitching. Could you maybe expand a little bit on what to expect from pitching this year out of Louisville?
Well, you lose the Friday night guy in Thomas Royce, the Big East pitcher of the year, and you lose Neil Holland, the All-American closer. Yeah, probably a little scary for any coach when you lose the Friday night guy and the All-American closer. But it happens in college baseball. We lost Zach Pitts, and then we lost Justin Marks, and you know you're going to lose that Friday night guy every year or so. And you know, so my concern is who's going to pitch in that slot and who's going to close the game out. You know, with that being said, a lot of options. That's the exciting thing. That you look at guys who have pitched in the weekend over the past few years: Matt Cook, Justin Amlung, Gabriel Shaw, Mike Nastol, Derek Self, as well as Tony Zick. Tony Zick looks to be the closer with his dominant summer in the Cape Cod League, and he was very consistent this fall. So feel good about the experience we have on the mound, but again, someone's gonna have to step up, and who can be the Friday night guy that we can count on, that we've been so successful in our 4 years here, is having a guy that can run out and win that Friday night game against someone else's number one pitcher is what makes it. It kind of sets a tone for the whole pitching staff. That Friday night guy, he attacks the zone, he goes at hitters, he makes pitches, he sets the tone, and the momentum hopefully falls right in behind him. A lot of young guys that it's a great opportunity for. Dave Kine from Northern Ohio with a power curveball.
Yes,
Jeffrey Thompson from right over the bridge here in Indiana. A lot of upside, big, strong kid that's only going to get better and better. Cody Eakey, a left-handed pitcher from Matt Cook's high school, and he had a very good fall. Cole Sturgeon, another left-handed pitcher from Owensboro, another area that we've had great success in. Chad Green is kind of a Thomas Royce type strike thrower, and seems to be very consistent on the mound. So, you know, that combination of all those older guys with some really talented young kids, it's going to be interesting to see how they do in the spring.
Awesome. On two guys that you didn't really have in your arsenal last year on the pitching staff, Nastold and Landers. How are they looking for this year, Coach Dan?
Mike Nastol was very good this fall. We took it slow with him, trying to get him back, 100% coming off of the arm surgery. Looks to be, that dominant force that he was in his freshman year when he was pitching in that Saturday slot there and had some really good outings. Keith Landers, a little bit slower with Keith. Felt some discomfort in the shoulder. They had to go back in and look at it. Fortunately, it was just some stitches were loose in there, and they just had to clean it up a little bit. So Keith is kind of the wild card right now. At one point, we thought he's going to be ready for the spring. Then at one point, we thought, we lost him for the spring. And I think now we're just kind of in a 50-50 mode. We're taking the rehab slow, conservative with him, and wanting to make sure he can get back to 100%. So could be a nice boost for the second half or maybe late in the season if he's able to come back and pitch.
One last question, Coach Mack. This year, you have a bevy of talent that you brought in this year. Can you maybe give the fans a little outlook on what to expect? Now, I talked to Island earlier in the season when you was having practices when we was out there all the time, and he said you're going to switch a little bit more to the small ball look this year, more of like maybe a Cal State look he's anticipating.
Yeah, I think the changes in the bats, as well as having younger hitters, won't give us the freedom to just maybe sit back and try to hit the ball in the gap or play for the 3-run homer. We might have to sacrifice bunt a little more, but we've always been very aggressive on the bases, so I'm excited that we'll open it up and give kids the freedom to steal and encourage them to steal. We might hit and run a little bit more, but we're still going to be an aggressive type program. Offensively, we're aggressive on the bases. We might have to bunt a little bit more than in the past, and when you look at our club offensively, it's got a little bit of both. You got some star power there with Stuart Imes and Ryan Wright. Drew Haynes has been a 3-year starter, and guys that have had a lot of success. And then we have a lot of those, I call them freshmen and sophomores. Adam Engel is a Boomer Whiting type player out of Cincinnati.
Awesome.
Alex Chittenden is a talented shortstop from Indianapolis. Ty Young, very offensive hitter, a middle infielder from Philadelphia. Ryan Seas, a switch hitter with that Chris Dominguez type power, a lot of potential in there, as well as Cole Sturgeon and Iki, who are 2A guys. It's the sophomores, though. It's Zach Wasserman. It's Kyle Grieshaber.
Cook.
It's Cade Stallings. It's JJF, who's a senior, but he's in his 2nd year with us. It's those guys that have had experience in college baseball, but they weren't leaned on every game in the past. Now this is their breakout year. In college baseball, we usually throw you to the fire as a freshman, see how you handle it. And when you're a sophomore, it's time to break out because we don't have guys for 5 years. And so, I'm anxious to see. I think our success will really depend on how well those sophomores play. Jared Clarkson had a solid fall. Freshman Kyle Gibson is pushing J.J. Ethel behind the plate. So a lot of new faces, but still a lot of talent.
I said one last thing, but just one last thing, Coach Dan. What do you have coming up to maybe get the fans involved, that they can come out and maybe get a little more involved in Louisville baseball and see a preview of what's coming up for 2011?
We have a lot. This is my head spinning in the month of January. We have camps the 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd. We're all ages, little kids and high school kids on up are here at our camps. We have the leadoff. And then we'll shoot down to Florida and play in the Big East Big Ten Challenge down there, so you can get that cheap Southwest flight. And we're playing in Bright House on that Saturday afternoon, which is where we play the Big East tournament.
Right.
We're playing in St. Pete on Friday and Sunday. So Michigan, Ohio State, and Minnesota. Be a great weekend down there, and then we come right back home and play Toledo with our first home game the following weekend. We have a West Coast swing. For those that are looking for an excuse to go to California, we're going out there for a week. Basically, we're going to play Pepperdine, which is in Malibu, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then that Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to play Southern Cal, the USC, and the great tradition that they have. So, great competition. We're really challenging these kids, even with a young group. We're going to put them on the road. We're going to challenge them, try to get them ready for Big East play in a year where we have 5 road trips out of our 9. So going up to the Northeast 4 times this spring. And so love fans to follow us. I mean, it's just, it makes it special for our kids, for the program, for the families who do come and wear their red and black and show off our colors and hoot and holler loud for the Cardinals. So we're looking forward to a big spring.
Coach McDonnell, thank you so much. You're a class act. We cannot wait for the season to start. And I want to thank you so much for taking your time out to give us a preview of Louisville baseball for the 2011 season, sir.
Shannon, I'm glad to do it, man. I'm excited and ready to go. Last thing is, we're going to step up our dugout club. That's one of our driving forces, and we're going to tie our dugout club into some special seating, whether it's the Kentucky game or the Vanderbilt game. And so we'll have that hit the news flash here soon. But we're going to encourage more people to get involved with our dugout club, get our nice gear, our game hats, our golf shirts, to wear Louisville baseball products, as well as have first opportunity for seats at big games and even in the NCAAs. So I appreciate the publicity.
No problem whatsoever. clever, Coach Mack, and I talked to Wendy Haywood and Vicki Frank. Well, I haven't talked to Vicki as much as I do Wendy, but anything we can do to help you guys to promote the Dugout Club, please let us know, Coach Mack.
You got it. Thanks, Shannon.
Yes.
Take care. I'll see you out at the ballpark.
Yes, sir. Thank you as well. Good luck this season, sir.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.